devastation wrought by the atomic raids of 1965, three great police states rose to divide the world: Oceania, Eurasia, and East Asia. Atomic weapons were abolished, but not war itself. For only by maintaining the strain and tension of continual conflict could the ruling parties enforce absolute power. London, with its bomb-proof ministries, became capital of Airstrip 1, a province of Oceania.
Take cover, everybody. Take cover, everybody. Special bulletin from the Ministry of Peace. Eurasian rocket bombs are approaching London. Take cover. Take cover, everybody.
Stand by for an important announcement. The Ministry of Peace is happy to report that thanks to the vigilance of our gallant interceptors, no Eurasian rocket bomb was able to reach targets of any importance. We continue now with our regular broadcast.
April 18th, 1984. Nobody keeps a diary today, because to do so would be punishable by death. I don't care anymore. found this old book by chance. And I'm going to set down what I dare not say aloud to anyone. I've seen that girl again. I'm sure she was following me. Perhaps they suspect me already.
We interrupt this program for an important bulletin. The saboteurs Lewis and Siegel were caught a few minutes ago in the neighborhood of Victory Square and have already confessed their guilt. As he was arrested, Lewis was heard to shout in a loud voice, "Long live Big Brother!"
You're a traitor. You're a thought criminal. You're a Eurasian spy. I'll shoot you. I'll vaporize you. I'll send you to the uranium mine.
Quieter now, Sabina, quieter. You can't blame her for being excited enough. This is her evening with the spies.
Traitor. Thought criminal.
I thought we could take her there and then go and have a drink.
Why have you got this desk so far away from the telescreen? It ought to be over there.
There's something in what she says, you know. She doesn't miss a thing.
I'll have to report you.
Nonsense, Selina, nonsense. Winston has nothing to hide. Have you, Winston? Oh, ready then?
Yes, I'm ready.
6748 Smith W. Regulation 6040. Outer party members will always wear identification badges when going in public places. And Smith, don't forget again.
All right, I'm ready.
I'll order some gin.
Fine.
Two gins. I'd love that. Not here. Over there. Didn't you recognize them?
No,
Jones and Rutherford.
I thought they'd been liquidated.
They ought to have been. The traitors.
I remember their trial. They confessed to being in Eurasia during Hate Week last year, didn't they?
That's why the war went badly for a few months afterwards. They were able to disclose a lot of secret information.
What are they doing at Liberty?
BB granted them a pardon. Do you remember? He freed 25 prisoners in honor of the Mediterranean victory. Only BB could make a gesture like that.
I imagine they've spent some time at the Ministry of Love.
Oh, yes. That's why they're here. They're cured. Better not show so much interest.
2 gins.
Oh. Thanks. Maybe we shouldn't have stopped here. I get pretty uneasy when I'm near people who aren't healthy, if you know what I mean. Oh, well. Long live BB.
Long live BB.
Anything wrong?
No.
Coffee, please.
You looked at that girl as though you were scared.
I dislike her.
And you know her?
Yes, she works in the Ministry of Truth in the fiction department. They turn out books for the people.
But you've never spoken to her.
No, she watches me.
That needn't bother you. I mean, even if she's a member of the thought police, you've got nothing to worry about.
That's right.
Something coming through.
important bulletin from the Ministry of Love. Tonight, Big Brother ordered the re-arrest of the arch-traitors Jones and Rutherford.
Once a traitor, always a traitor. Would you like another gin?
No, thank you.
What's the matter? Don't you feel well?
I have a headache. I think I'll skip the community center tonight.
This week, the number of entrants in the Big Brother Victory Lottery has exceeded all previous records. And after deducting the usual percentage for the bombed areas fund, the proceeds to be distributed as prizes are the greatest since the inception of this lottery. Here are the results, as they were drawn by the hand of Big Brother himself from the millions of numbers. The first prize, higher than ever before, goes to 634921. The second prize, also larger than in any previous week, goes to number 81346294.
Good evening.
Good evening. Remember me?
You're the gentleman that bought that old diary.
Yes. I was just passing by. I looked in. I was wondering if you might have anything else in which I'd be interested. Do you mind if I look around?
Not at all.
What is this?
Oh, that's coral, that is. That probably came from the Indian Ocean. Look. They used to embed it in glass like that. Oh, it must be 100 years old, or more.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is a beautiful thing. Not beauty as we understand it today, of course. It serves no useful purpose. But then, I'm an old man.
How much is it?
I could let you have it for 15 shillings.
Have you changed?
Yes. Thank you. Oh, there's another room upstairs. There's not much in it, just a few pieces. Perhaps you would care to see it.
Yes, I'd like to.
I'll lead the way. We lived here until my wife died. I'm selling off the furniture little by little.
There's no telescreen here.
Of course not. It's a people's area.
I know, but it seems strange. That's an interesting picture.
It was a church. Do you know that word?
Yes, there were still churches when I was a child. You must have been a grown man before I was born. You can remember what it was like in the days before the revolution.
Yes?
You can remember the oppression and the injustice and the poverty back in the 50s.
Vaguely.
I'm keeping you from your other customers.
Yes. Well, you have a look around. Oh, excuse me. Good evening.
Good evening. I saw some things in the window and wanted to have a closer look.
Anything in particular?
No. You seem to have some interesting things.
I doubt if I have anything of interest to a young lady like yourself.
I see. Do you have many customers?
Alas, no. The antique business is just about finished.
Do many outer-party members come here?
Why should they? Ah, there you are. Your change.
Thank you.
Your paperweight.
Smith, W.
Where do you work?
In the Ministry of Truth.
Which department?
The Records Department.
What is your business in the people's area?
I had a headache. I thought if I got a little air.
When did you leave work?
1,800 hours.
It's now 2200. Report tomorrow morning at 800 hours to Fort Administration. Smith W.
You took a rather long walk last night.
Yes.
Did it help your headache?
I don't have one this morning.
Perhaps you've been working too hard.
I don't think so.
You find your job at the records department too exacting.
No.
What do you do, Smith?
I revise history.
That's an unfortunate way of putting it. What you actually do is to rectify speeches and wrongly reported incidents, isn't it?
Yes.
Shows how great the need is for establishing newspeak as the official language as soon as possible. When a new dictionary is issued, there'll be less danger of calling things by their wrong names.
Did you visit any of the shops in the people's area last night?
No.
Did you speak to anyone?
No.
Did you see any other member of the outer party on your walk?
No.
You know the party disapproves of its members mixing with the people?
Yes.
You consider that unreasonable?
No.
6748, you're a member of a privileged class, expected to accept restrictions as well as privileges. I had hoped we might be able to deal with this matter here in your own ministry. But your explanations are inadequate. This report will be forwarded to the Ministry of Love for further action.
I think we can deal with it here. You're warned to pay strict attention to the regulations in the future. You can return to your department.
Ship number 424B issued at 1000 hours today.
6748 Smith W. Reference Big Brother's Order Gazette, November 12, 1983. Since the Eurasian offensive has opened in South India, it is impossible that Big Brother predicted this front would remain quiet. Rewrite entire speech. Show that through our magnificent espionage system, Big Brother had prior knowledge of all the enemy's plans.
Backhammer's Gazette, November 12th, 1983.
Signed 6127S. The following men have been found guilty of treason and no longer exist. Conrad Zeilinger, Gordon Prentice, Harold Cho. Delete all reference to them from the Gazettes of January 2nd, 8th, and 26th.
Back numbers Gazette, January the 2nd, 8th, 26th.
What have you got there, Smith?
This photograph was between the pages of the Gazette.
What photograph?
Jones and Rutherford. They confessed to aiding the underground and being in Eurasia during hate week. But here it says...
What are you talking about, Smith? I don't see any photograph. No photograph of the traitors Jones and Rutherford exists, does it?
No.
The system is not perfect. Sometimes there are errors.
Attention, comrades. Take your places for the 2-minute hate.
At war with the people of Eurasia, the vile and ruthless aggressors who have committed countless atrocities and who are guilty of every bestial crime a human being can commit. They have laid waste our land, destroyed our factories, looted our homes, massacred our children, and raped our women. They have tortured and killed the wounded and prisoners, contriving lingering and horrible deaths for those who fall into their hands. While our gallant forces are engaged in a life and death struggle, we face on the home front an enemy who is far more dangerous. One of our own people. The arch-traitor Cavanaugh. This is the man, the leader of the underground, who betrayed our glorious revolution and would betray Big Brother. The man whose agents sabotage our glorious 9-year plan, who retards our progress and sells our military secrets to the enemy.
Hang the criminal.
He is trying to tell you that Big Brother has betrayed you into fighting a war against Eurasia that you can never hope to win. He says the Eurasians are good, kind people. They do not want war. They want peace. He actually begs you to make peace with your brothers of Eurasia.
Hate! 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 Hate!
Hate! Hate!
Hate! Hate! Hate!
Big Brother!
The marriage committee gave us permission this morning. Who did they choose for you? Comrade Bendon, the Victory Orations Department.
Oh.
Of course, politically, he's perfect. If our medical grades match, they're arranging a meeting next week.
Oh, Smith, there's a seat here.
Smith, you haven't given me your contribution.
Which one is that?
The Hate Week.
Oh, just a minute.
Oh. We're making an all-out effort, going to put on a tremendous show. Now, who else hasn't paid? Oh, Syme here.
Already we've broken down the family as a unit and made it an extension of the thought police. Spies have trained children to put loyalty to the party first, without any consideration for their parents.
What time do you finish work?
1830.
Our next step is the complete abolition of the old-fashioned conception of love between man and woman. This energy must be diverted.
Where shall we meet?
The party. The anti-sex
Victory
league has
Square.
nearly reached
The monument.
Men and women will be conditioned
What time?
so that physical contact
1900
is
hours.
by a feeling of repulsion. Within 100 years from now, the sexual impulse will exist only as a symbol of duty towards the party.
In a few seconds, Eurasian prisoners will be passing through Victory Square. These are the evil men whose ruthless lust for power has threatened to destroy the civilized world. Evil men who preferred war, but already they are beginning to learn the mistake they have made as they encounter the might of Oceania. Our glorious army is sweeping back the invading hordes of Eurasians. The figures of prisoners taken is the biggest since the war began. Now is your chance, comrades, to let them hear the voice of Oceania. There they are!
Cross the bridge and follow the river for a half a mile until you come to a fallen tree wait for me in the glade. I'll get there by another boat. Can you remember that? Move away from me now. Kill your agent!
Hello. We're all right. There's no microphone here.
It takes a little while to realize you're not being overheard.
Or watched. We can look at each other now and not be afraid.
We can say whatever we like to each other.
We can even touch each other. If we want to.
You know, I don't even know your name.
It's Julia. And yours is Winston.
How'd you know that?
But I want to find something out. I have ways. It took me ages to get that message to you.
I thought you were spying on me when you came into that shop.
You thought I was a good party member. Pure in word and deed.
That's why I was afraid of you. You know, I hated you and I wanted to kill you. That's what Big Brother's done to us all. Made us hate and fear each other. How did you know I wasn't a good party member?
Something in your face. Somehow I knew you'd be against them.
It'll be safe here once or twice again, and then we'll have to go somewhere else.
And eventually they'll find us out. I won't let you take that risk for me.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for myself. If you keep the big rules, it's safe to break the little ones.
You've been here before, haven't you?
Yes? Does that shock you?
No.
They're afraid of love. Because love makes a world they can't control. And it's a world worth taking risks for, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. It's more than 2 weeks since we have been able to meet, except for a few moments in a crowd or near a telescreen. There must be a message in the usual place tonight. Hello, Selina. I didn't hear you coming.
You weren't meant to. We're trained as spies to follow people silently.
Why were you following me?
We're told to follow anyone who behaves suspiciously.
What was suspicious about my behavior?
It's suspicious coming here.
I was working in my room on an article for Newspeak. A page blew out the window. I saw it flutter down here, and I came to try to find it.
I saw you pick up something.
I dropped my cigarettes, that's all. It's dark now. I'll have to look on my way to work tomorrow. Are you coming, Selina? Are you coming, Selina?
Yes, I'm coming.
It is now 22:30 hours. Power must be conserved for our victory effort. All lights will be extinguished.
Good night, comrades. Tomorrow, your work for the party must be better than today. Remember, even in your sleep, Big Brother is watching you. Big Brother is watching you.
How long did I sleep?
I don't know. I was dozing myself.
We'll have to be leaving soon.
I wonder if we dare come here again.
I think we're safe for another Sunday.
Then what do we do? Go on seeing each other every day without being able to speak. Passing on the streets and pretending not to recognize each other.
I know. If only there was somewhere where we needn't be afraid all the time. Where we could be together longer.
Julia, there is somewhere. That old shop. There's a room above it where no one lives. And there's no telescreen. I believe I could rent that room.
The old man in the shop would have to know. Anytime he wanted, he could report us.
I don't think he would. I've talked with him. He's only interested in his antiques. And renting the room would give him a little money so he wouldn't have to sell all his treasures. You saw him yourself.
Sooner or later, we'll have to trust someone.
I'm going to do it.
Somehow they must have found out.
We shouldn't have stayed so long.
It's no use, it's too late.
Go on, up there. Quickly, go on. junk shop has become a world of our own, where for a time we can forget Big Brother. Another Sunday tomorrow. She said she would be there.
The young lady was very nice about it, but I think you'll find it more comfortable now. Oh, since you were both last here, I've managed to get you some pots and pans. And I took some of my old stuff downstairs. Oh, and everything in the kitchen works now. I'm afraid it's not as peaceful as you might like.
I like it. I don't hear much singing where I live.
Oh, we do in this district. Popular songs, of course. The party keeps us well supplied with those. Oh, this is perhaps the young lady now. Yes. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Oh, well, I'll be leaving you now. Should you require anything, I'm just below.
Thank you. You're late. What happened to you?
The anti-sex meeting went on forever. I thought those silly women would never stop talking. Then I had to pick up some things.
I was afraid something might keep you from getting here.
You worry too much. Look what I had.
What's that? Coffee. Real coffee.
Real sugar.
So how did you manage it?
It's all inner party stuff. They have everything.
Yes, but where did you get it?
A friend.
A friend?
A girlfriend.
What else do you have in there?
You'll see. I'll make some coffee.
Julia, you hear that woman singing? I like that. I believe it's people like her who will one day overthrow Big Brother and all he stands for. Julia?
Just a minute.
You're beautiful. Look at you. Look at you. If only some of those bloodless females could see you now, see what a woman can really look like. Gone now.
Never seen you like this.
It's the one thing I really hate. The one thing I'm really afraid of.
Why?
When I was a child, where I lived, there were swarms of them. One day, my sister. Forgive me. I didn't mean to upset you.
I'll make some coffee.
Yes.
Will you help me?
Yes.
Did you fill this with water?
sigh.
Put the sugar in the bowl.
If only you didn't have to wear these again. I wish you could stay always as you are now. That would be worth fighting for. There must be something we can do about it. If only I knew someone in the underground.
People who have anything to do with the underground don't live long.
There's a man at the Ministry of Truth called O'Connor.
He's a member of the inner party.
I think he's against them, too. Sooner or later, you've got to trust someone. You said so yourself.
Yes, but I didn't mean someone in the inner party. Someone who could have you vaporized by lifting his little finger.
I don't know. I think I could trust O'Connor.
The only people we can trust are ourselves.
Do you remember Jones and Rutherford? They were accused of being in Eurasia during Hate Week last year. Well, they weren't. They were right here, being honored by Big Brother. Some weeks ago, I found a newspaper photograph. O'Connor saw me with it.
And he didn't report you?
If he had, I wouldn't be here. It was a little scrap of evidence out of the past that they'd forgotten to destroy, and I had it right in my hand.
Darling, you can't fight them alone.
If there is an underground, if it isn't another of their inventions to keep people hysterical, I want to be part of it. One of these days, I'm going to let O'Connor know how I feel.
No, please.
Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid. I'll wait till he gives me some sort of signal. Something that lets me know.
Issues details today of the full list of crimes confessed by the traitors Jones and Rutherford. These atrocious acts of treachery include the embezzlement of party funds, the murder of many trusted party members, immoral relations with women of the party, and collaboration with the leader of the underground, the arch-traitor Canador.
Fifth W.
Yes?
What's in the briefcase?
I brought some work home with me. I was about to write an article on the grammar of newspeak.
Bring it to the screen and open it.
These are notes for the article.
All members of the records department have to report for late duty in an hour's time. Meanwhile, carry on with your work.
All organizations taking part in the Hate Week demonstration are preparing their programs with unprecedented enthusiasm. Never before in the history of Oceania have we been given so much cause for a show of concentrated hatred against the enemy. We continue now with our regular broadcast.
The exclusive employment of words sanctioned by the party will reduce the possibility of confusion and doublethink. Work is already progressing on the latest edition of the Newspeak Dictionary, which will replace all previous editions.
You seem to take a scholarly interest in the new dictionary, Smith.
Oh, hardly scholarly.
Have you seen any of the material we're using?
No, Syme told me about it.
Syme.
Yes, he works over...
Syme no longer exists. The work has to be carried on, of course. It seems to me you're more equipped to do it than anyone else. I'd like you to look at that new material. Perhaps you can pick it up at my apartment. I'll give you the address. I'm usually in after 1900 hours. Come along as soon as you can. I've reason to believe that you can be of great value to us.
But I tell you, it's the same handwriting.
You mean he just gave you his address and said he wanted to talk to you at his home? Things like that don't happen. It would be too dangerous.
He made some sort of excuse about the new dictionary.
You know, if you're wrong, it would be the end of all this. Once they get hold of us, there's nothing, absolutely nothing that either one of us can do for the other. They can make us confess anything.
But they can't make us believe it. They can't get inside of us.
Who knows what they can do?
Julia, I'm convinced O'Connor's a member of the underground. He's our one hope. I'm going through with this. I have to. But there's no need for you.
Whatever you're going to do, I'm coming with you.
He has announced tonight that production figures for this year already exceed those of the corresponding date in 1983 by over 12%.
All right, Martin, you can bring them in now.
In certain categories, this increase is even greater. For example, hardware goods such as kitchen utensils are 17.5% higher than last year. Shoes show a staggering increase of 21%. Shoelaces, however, show only an increase of 5%. It is confidently predicted that this increased production will continue throughout this year. The Ministry of Plenty is confident that 1984 will demonstrate the complete success of Big Brother's 9-year plan.
You can turn it off?
A few members of the inner party have that privilege. Well?
Is that really off? We've come here because
you both believe there's a conspiracy, some kind of organization working against Big Brother.
Yes, we believe that you're involved in it. We want to join it and work for it.
That's all right. Martin is one of us. All right, Martin, bring the drinks over here. Might as well sit and talk in comfort. I think it's fitting we should begin by drinking a toast. It's wine. I'm afraid not much of it reaches the outer party. What shall we drink to? The triumph of Calidor? The confusion of the thought police?
Down with Big Brother.
Down with Big Brother. You can go now, Martin. But before you go, take a good look at these two comrades' faces. You'll be seeing them again. In general terms, what are you prepared to do? You are, of course, prepared to give your lives.
Yes.
You're prepared to commit murder?
Yes.
Betray your country to a foreign power?
Yes.
Are you prepared to separate and never see one another anymore?
No.
No.
You did well to tell me. Of course, you realize that you'll be fighting in the dark. You'll have nothing to sustain you except the idea. When you're caught, you will get no help. Later, I will send you a book which will teach you the nature of the society we live in and the strategy we shall use to destroy it. But you get no information about your own organization.
When you receive orders, they will have come from me. I assume that you have some kind of hiding place.
Yes, a room over a junk shop. We go there Sundays when we can.
That briefcase, do you always carry it?
As a rule, yes.
Every day during Hate Week, carry it empty. Well, now I'm afraid it's time for you to go. Even we are not allowed to turn that off as long as we would want.
I used to be afraid there was no underground.
Perhaps the party invented us. Oh, and Smith. If I were you, I would destroy that diary.
Brother, comrades, Big Brother is always merciful. He stands ever ready to welcome back to his loving protection those who have seen the error of their ways. One sin is unforgivable, the sin of treason. Tonight, the traitors Rutherford and Jones will speak to you themselves before they're taken away to the death they so richly deserve. For themselves the grave crimes they have committed in thought, word, and deed. Hear them for yourselves.
I am here tonight to tell you of the grave crimes which I have committed in thought, word, and deed, for which I am now truly penitent. I betrayed my country to our enemy, the Eurasians. I conspired with the arch-traitor Calidor.
Excuse me, comrade. I think you've taken the wrong briefcase.
I conspired with the arch-traitor Calidor to overthrow Big Brother.
Darling. I've got it. Calidor's book. Somebody stopped me in the square last night and gave me this briefcase. Look how like my own it is. Shows you how well organized the underground is. Now, listen.
Not just now, darling.
Well, there may not be another chance for weeks. It's going to be a rush at the records office. You know how it is during Hate Week. Speeches are full of mistakes, and we've got to put them right. Now, listen. Calidor says the aim of the ruling class is to stay where it is. The aim of the middle class is to overthrow the ruling class. And the aim of the lower class is to create a society in which all classes are equal. Big Brother has so organized the inner party that there is no danger of the ruling class being deposed. Darling, aren't you listening?
I'd like to have had a child.
I know. And that's why this is so important, Julia.
It's just words.
No, Julia, this can make everything we want possible. Don't you want to understand what we're fighting for?
I found that out already. Here in this room.
We've got to fight to keep this happening.
I know. But it won't be Calidor's book or any underground that will defeat them.
What then?
Don't you see that? There must be others in love like us who will rebel. Can't stop that.
That's the real hope for the future.
I wonder if it could happen in our lifetime.
Maybe. But the important thing is that there's hope for the world.
All I know is, when we're together, it's wonderful to be alive.
You are the dead. You are the dead.
The mirror. It must be a telescreen.
Can't be.
They're all around the house. Don't resist.
Stand in the middle of the room. Stand back to back. Don't touch each other. Put your hands over your heads.
I think I warned you it wouldn't be as peaceful here as you could like. Nothing is ever hidden from the thought police. Take them away.
Smith, uncover your face.
You're prepared to commit murder? Yes. Betray your country to a foreign power? Yes. Are you prepared to separate and never see one another anymore?
No.
Julia! Silence! Julia! Silence, Smith!
When a woman's arrested, what happens to her? Where do they take the women?
They won't hang me, will they? They'll know my record.
Why have they arrested you?
There I was, trying to do my bit, never knowing I had any bad stuff in my mind at all. Do you know what they heard me say? Down with Big Brother. I said that in my sleep. And said it over and over again, it seems. I'm glad they got me before it went any further. Do you know what I'm going to say when I go up before the tribunal? Thank you. I meant to say thank you for saving me before it was too late.
Who denounced you?
My little girl. She heard what I was saying. I don't bear her any grudge for it. It shows I brought her up in the right spirit anyway.
Room 101.
No. I've told you everything. What else do you want to know? There's nothing I won't confess to. Nothing. Nothing!
Right.
What's room 101?
They wouldn't hang me, would they? For going off the track just once.
What's room 101?
O'Connor.
Take his bed.
Don't be in too much of a hurry to find out about room 101. You'll find out in good time.
What have you done with Julia?
She betrayed you, Winston.
You tortured her.
I've watched over you for a long time. Now I'm going to help you. First, there are some preliminaries to be gone through, but after that, you will be brought to me and we will talk. So the time has come, Winston. Do you know where you are, Winston?
The Ministry of Love.
Right. Do you know how long you've been here?
Days. Weeks. Months. It must be months.
Do you know why we bring people to this place?
Yes. Make them confess.
You don't really believe that.
No, I suppose I don't. To punish them.
No. We bring them here to cure them, to make them sane. Nobody that we bring here ever leaves our hands uncured.
Why don't you kill me?
The first thing you must understand about this place, Winston, is that there are no martyrdoms. You've read of the religious persecutions of the past. They were failures. They set out to eradicate heresies, and they ended by perpetuating them. We do not make that mistake. We make them tell the truth.
Why bother with me?
You are a flaw in the pattern, Winston. You are a stain which has to be wiped out. When finally you confess to us, it must be of your own free will. We do not destroy the heretic, we convert him. We capture his inner mind. We reshape him. We burn all evil out of him. We bring him over to our side, not merely in appearance, but genuinely. Heart and soul. We make him one of ourselves. No one whom we bring to this place ever stands out against us. We will lead you, step by step, to the point from which there is no return. Never again will you be capable of love or friendship, or joy of life, or laughter, or courage, or curiosity, or integrity. You will be hollow, We will squeeze you empty, and then we will fill you with ourselves, with love of Big Brother. Now, before we begin your cure, are there any questions you would like to ask?
Where is Julia?
She's alive. Next question.
Does Calidor exist? Does the underground exist?
That, Winston, you will never know. But that question, Winston, proves that you are mentally deranged. You have a defective memory. You are unable to remember real events, and you persuade yourself that you remember events which never happened. For example, do you remember receiving a book supposedly written by Calidor?
Yes. Somebody gave it to me in Victory Square.
You're quite sure that that book ever existed? I want the truth, Winston. Tell me what you think you remember.
I had the book.
Take him away. Let us take another delusion of yours. You believe you had in your hands a photograph of the traitors, Jones and Rutherford.
I did have it.
You believe it was some sort of documentary evidence proving their confessions were false. I remember telling you that the photograph did not exist.
It did exist. It does exist. It exists in my memory. I remember it. You remember it.
I do not remember it. There is a party directive dealing with the control of the past. Repeat it to me.
Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past.
And where do you suppose this past exists?
In records.
The party controls all records.
And in human memories.
The party controls all human memories.
How can you control the memory? You haven't controlled mine.
On the contrary, you haven't controlled it. That is why you're here. You've been lacking in humility, in self-discipline. You must make an effort of the will, Winston, and rehabilitate your mind. Then you will be sane. But first, you must be humble. Do you remember writing in that diary of yours that freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 make 4? How many fingers am I holding out?
4.
And if the state says not 4, but 5, how many?
4.
Take him. Now, how many fingers?
4. 4. What else can I say? 4.
.20.
.20. 1, 2, out.
How many fingers, Winston?
4. 4.
.30.
.30. 1, 2, 3, 5. 5. Anything you like. Call me starboard. Sideways. Starboard. Out.
That's no use, Winston. You're lying. You still think there are 4.
How can I help seeing what's in front of my eyes? 2 and 2 are 4.
Sometimes. We've had all that out before. Sometimes they are 4, sometimes, if the state says so, they are 5. How many fingers?
I'm trying to see 5.
Which do you want? To persuade me that you see 5 or really to see them?
Really to see them.
Point 60.
Point 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Again, how many fingers?
I don't know. I don't know. 4, 5, 6. In all honesty, I don't know.
Better. Now, Winston, without any persuasion. There are 5 fingers there. Do you see 5 fingers?
Yes.
Look at me. Did you ever read a book by Calidore?
No.
No such book ever existed, did it?
No.
You see how the mind can be controlled and washed clean. Even the traitors, Jones and Rutherford, in whose innocence you once believed, in the end we broke them down. When we had finished with them, there was nothing left in them except sorrow for what they had done and love of Big Brother. Stand up. Come over here. That's enough. It's a long time since you've seen yourself, Winston. Look.
What have you done to me?
Can you think of a single degradation that has not happened to you?
No.
Are you prepared to separate and never see one another anymore?
No.
Julia. Julia. I have not betrayed Julia. I have not betrayed Julia.
No. No, that is perfectly true. You have not betrayed Julia. Come with me, Winston. Winston, you were once curious about room 101. It is not one room, but many. This one, for instance. You're going to find out what lies beyond that door, Winston. But to whet your curiosity, I will give you a hint. In room 101 is the worst thing in the world. Of course, that varies from individual to individual. It may be burial alive, or death by drowning, or by fire, or by impalement, or 50 other deaths. Which death do you fear most in all the world, Winston? You needn't answer. You've already told me.
A rat. A rat.
It's gone now.
Seen you like
It's the one thing I really hate. The one thing I'm really afraid of.
Why?
When I was a child, where I lived, there were swarms of them. One made my sister. Will you lead the way, Winston?
Not to me. Not to me. To Julia, not to me. I don't care what you do to her. Let her suffer. Not to me. To Julia. Not to
Now, Winston, you are wholly ours. You have been washed clean. You will be released tomorrow.
Attention. A later bulletin has just been issued by the Ministry of Peace. The southward advance of the Eurasian army on the African front is still continuing. It is feared that unless a counterattack is launched immediately, the whole of Central Africa may fall to the invading hordes. A defeat in this area might well threaten the very heart of Oceania itself. In this grave crisis, the Ministry of Truth will continue to issue frequent bulletins.
I betrayed you.
I betrayed you.
I threatened you with something. Something you can't bear to think about. You find yourself saying, don't do it to me. Do it to someone else. Later, you tell yourself you just said it to make them stop. But that's not true. The time when it happens, you mean it. All you care about is yourself.
All you care about
You don't feel the same way about the other person any longer.
No. You don't feel the same any longer.
I never thought that I'd be...
Attention, everybody. Attention. Here is the latest bulletin that's just been received from the front in Africa. News has just been received that a vast maneuver planned by Big Brother and involving perfect coordination between the land and sea forces of Oceania has resulted in the utter rout of the Eurasian army in Africa. The enemy is completely demoralized and fleeing before our victorious troops. Long live Big Brother!
This, then, is a story of the future. It could be the story of our children if we fail to preserve their heritage of freedom.
To the proper exportation level, please note your correct beam and level. Crematorium and phosphorus recovery.
Bottom level, orange beam, enjoy yourself. Bottom level, orange beam, enjoy yourself. Bottom level, orange beam, enjoy yourself.
What's happening here?
This is a group of semi-moron epsilons that are going on a nature nausea reinforcement field trip to...
I can see that. I meant what's taking you so long.
Oh, right away, sir. There you are, all set. Bottom level, orange beam, enjoy yourself. Now, sir.
Central Hatcheries plant. Priority.
I'm sorry, sir. There's a circuit delay.
Oh, next?
The Cathedral of our Ford, please. Just a moment, if you don't mind. I don't think you understood. I said priority. I happen to be the assistant director of the Central Hatcheries plant.
Yes, sir. All circuit checked.
Really, these gammas, they're hardly brighter than a delta. Or even epsilons.
Oh, no. I'm sure any delta is much brighter than epsilons like those. That's one of the wonderful things about being a gamma. We're not too stupid and we're not too bright. To be a gamma is to be just right. All right, sir. Central Hatcheries, red beam, first level. All right, sir.
The Cathedral of our Ford, please.
The Cathedral of our Ford. First level, blue beam.
Oh, the Cathedral of our Ford. Then I suppose you're part of the Archfreud Synth Religion staff.
No, I'm just trying to catch hold of someone who's supposed to be there. Actually, I'm with the Sensu Feely Corps.
Oh, a Telefeely writer.
Not yet. I'm still working on my first docu-jango short. It's on the perfection of conditioning.
Oh, yes. Very interesting, Richard. Well, I go this way. Miss Lysenko, may I see you for a moment, please?
Hello, Tomakin.
I might have a little surprise for little Linda.
Oh, what? Tell me.
It has something to do with taking you on a very special computer holiday trip.
I don't know. Ringo Roebuck wants me to go with him to the Sexorama Festival. And Anwar Bowie wants to take me for a week to a new Sensor World Park. And Ronald Jagger has round-trip
Something
tickets
special?
to...
It's to the Savage Reservation.
Oh, that's different. Everyone will be so envious. But are you sure about it?
Oh, it's just a formality. Just a question of my application being correctly... Miss Lysenko, why is this section closed down?
Oh, something that was supposed to go click, click started going clack, clack. But naturally, I wouldn't know what. I'm just a beta.
Of course, of course.
Linda, I have to go now, Tomakin.
Of course.
Artificial sunset has been reset for 6:04 due to technical delays. Artificial sunset has been reset for 6:04 due to technical delays.
Sir, your assistant warchief, sir?
Yes? Oh, Helmholtz Watson, about teletesting your docu-short.
I know you're very busy, sir, but I do need approval from your office.
I have to address some alpha graduates in synthoculture, and then a meeting with the committee on consumption norms and standards. Yes, right after that, I think.
All for more means more for all. If it can be made, it can be used. And if it can be used, it can be made. History is bunk. Half the time equals double the yield. War is bad for business.
As select alphas, conditioned to believe without knowing and to know without believing, you have been chosen to view the surrogate revelations and synthetic mysteries upon which all perfect and placibic belief is founded. Here before you are sacred teletime plex relics of the sanctified life, thought, and holy works of our Ford, from whose divine inspiration came the ultimate perfection of the endless assembly line, which has given us the ultimate, endless, perfect happiness of more things, for more wants in perfect balance, with more wants for more things.
And it is from our inspired creator of the Model T that we derive our blessed sign of the T.
Ford be praised.
Let us now repeat the catechism. Community.
Community.
Identity.
Identity.
Stability.
Stability.
Ford bless you. I am Mustafa Mond, Assistant Controller to her Ford chip, Nixona Bic, Western World Controller, and I have been assigned to show you certain selected histobunk highlights from the past.
But everything is perfect now, and everything will always be perfect. So what does it matter what things were like when it wasn't perfect?
Excellent point, but quite misguided. Exposing future stability monitors, such as yourself, to the imperfection of the past is, of course, part of the perfection of the present. Centuries ago, in primitive times, before the dawn of civilization, there were things that would be inconceivable to us today. Such things as poverty. Although there was actually land and food in abundance, some starved, because unlike our perfect society, they were unable or unwilling to balance population to consumption. Sometimes too much of one, or too little of the other. The result? Disease. And rather than eradicate the sources of disease as we have done, the superstitious primitives continued to rely upon a quite useless class of technicians called doctors. Violins, which the ancients actually appear to have enjoyed and reveled in. While we have been perfectly conditioned to want only what we have, and to have only what we want, and are, therefore, always happy, the uncivilized ancients were prey to destructive emotions, such as ambition, hate,
and love, which of course always led to violence, which in turn naturally led only to more violence. And senility, while we remain at the prime metabolic age of 35 to ensure a maximum level of useful consumption until painless death from chemostimulation between the ages of 80 and 90, the people of the past lacked the knowledge of how to stay young, even though they apparently valued youth so highly that they actually indulged in superstitious self-mutilation. As seminarians who will one day take your places in synthoculture stability centers, you must face these histobunk facts, unpleasant and even revolting as they sometimes are. Eating the actual flesh of animals, and even filthy things from the ground, and sometimes refusing to engage with more than one individual of the opposite sex, and even collecting into groups called families, a pervasively immoral concept of pre-civilized times. Yes, thoroughly disgusting examples of complete sexual perversion, as you can see.
Did the primitive females actually...
Yes. Primitive females gave viviparous birth to young.
Like animals?
Yes, physiologically, exactly like animals. I understand your reactions. Perhaps we should take a brief soma break. Naturally, none of what you have seen would be shown to betas or gammas, much less to deltas like these. But each of you is an alpha. You weren't mass-produced in computer-cloned Bakhanovsky batches. And you are all supremely happy, supremely content. But then, that is truly the perfection of our civilization. Everyone is adjusted. Everyone has been conditioned to want to do the work he has to do. And thus, everyone is perfectly happy, perfectly content. Alphas like you, betas, gammas, deltas like these, or even epsilons. Are you happy?
Happiness for all is happiness for each.
Are you glad to be deltas?
Deltas all have lots of fun. Deltas get to play and run.
Very good. But do you wish you had been incubated as alphas?
No, no.
Excellent. That's all.
Would you flash into the assistant director, please?
Oh, I think she's occupied, sir.
Oh, never mind, I'll do it. Miss Trotsky, there seems to be a production slowdown. There'll have to be a time and motion inspection. Miss Trotsky?
There you are. I couldn't find you.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. I was going to engage you in leisure hour today.
Oh, that's all right. I may do. Anyway, it was about something else. There was a data transmission for you from the controller's office.
Oh, about my trip, no doubt. To the Savage Reservation, you know.
Yes. I think they're canceling it on you.
Canceled? They couldn't. They wouldn't. Not when I've made plans to... Where is it?
In the file.
There must be some mistake. I had everything planned. How would something like that look on my computer file?
You'd better take a soma.
Yes, that's just the thing.
Here you are, sir. I guess you won't be going on your vacation now.
Well, we'll see about that. It so happens I know someone quite important in the controller's office. Quite important, in fact. Mustafa Mond. First assistant to her lordship Nixona Bink. Yes, we'll just see about that.
You are viewing Helmholtz-Watson's film, Planned Perfection. Each newly produced infant is given 6 full years of nightly hypnopedic sleep-teach lectures to reinforce class acceptance conditioning. Later, In central conditioning centers like this, each child receives daily happiness reinforcement drills, as well as prescribed courses in erotic play, death acceptance training, full consumption practice, and nature nausea games. Then, upon reaching computolescence after 6 more years in a final conditioning school, each happy, healthy individual will go forth to take up his or her predestined place in the greater society, dedicated to ensuring the continuing perfection of community, identity, stability.
Excellent, and very nicely packaged.
You liked the whole film, I mean.
Oh, immensely. You caught the whole spirit of unchanging perfection, and with admirable simplicity. I'm glad I had a chance to see it before it's computer erased and electro shredded.
Computer erased? Electro shredded?
Unfortunately, it does contain some dangerously heretical ideas.
I made every effort to keep ideas out of it.
Take the scene on anti-nature conditioning. Charming scene of little children revolted by fresh flowers. The implication is that nature nausea conditioning is necessary to keep people from enjoying the countryside and thus under-consuming.
But that's true.
Quite beside the point.
I just wanted to show why nature nausea training is one of our most recent improvements in...
You see? Recent implies past. Improvement implies progress. And if the present is perfect, then there can't be any progress, of course. And even the word why. That's the most dangerous of all. It raises the whole question of purpose. No, I'm afraid it would never do to let an ordinary audience watch anything quite as dangerous as your docu-short.
But the test audience watched it. They all liked it. You can see right there.
Quite meaningless, since they've been conditioned to like anything that's shown them.
But all my work.
Exactly the point. Thousands and thousands of feet of film consumed. Hours and hours of work expended by technicians. And once it's been erased and shredded, it can be done all over again. Remember your sleep talk. Don't delay. Consume today. Use it up and throw it away.
I'll make a special effort to keep ideas out the next time.
Commendable. You know, I'm reaching the age of 50 now, but I still remember my own youth. And I'm sure I had just as many deviant ideas as you do. I even composed a scandalous readout myself once. I think it was something about the possible benefits of allowing mutational differentiation in randomly selected embryos. An interesting idea, but dangerous in the wrong hands, of course. How old are you exactly, Helmholtz?
25.
25. Just think. By the time you reach my age, you'll have been able to have accomplished this dozens and dozens of times. Good work. Just keep it up.
Are you sure Assistant Controller Maud knows I'm waiting?
Sir, your case is being circuit checked through computer files.
Why?
I'm supposed to get all the reports on you.
Reports? Oh, from my superior.
Who?
Alice B. Stein, the director of Central Hatcheries.
I wouldn't know. Oh, you can go in now, sir.
Yes, there it is. Controller confirmation of restriction for Thomas Graham Bell, subject to overview discretion by the Director of Stability Norms.
But there must be a mistake. Is that all it says?
Oh, look for yourself.
But I'm sure there's a mistake. You can check my computer record. I have exceeded consumption and pleasure norms on each of my free vacations. And so I'm eligible now for a free vacation. This Director of Stability Norms, who's that?
I am.
Oh, well, I'm sure you know about this.
Mistake? But I'm afraid it isn't, Thomas. You see, actually, I'm the one who requested the official overview.
Well, why? I went through all the proper channels. Why?
The Savage Reservation can be dangerous. Oh, not in the physical sense, but in other ways. You see, these primitives are not at all like, say, the Quakerites who were driven into the Yukon. No, these primitives are quite different. They have actually regressed into an ancient form of tribal society.
Their ways are so directly opposite to ours that it can cause a very disturbing effect. As a matter of fact, several previous visitors had to be sent to emotional reengineering institutes.
Naturally, we couldn't chance that happening to someone in your position.
Naturally. But, you visited the Savage Reservation. Everyone knows that. It certainly hasn't affected you in any way.
Perhaps not. But then my predestination conditioning is to accept the unacceptable, while yours is to attain the attainable. It's quite different.
But how can I attain the attainable without something unique like this on my computer file?
Yes. A valid point. I'll take it into consideration.
When? I mean, I'm planning on leaving tomorrow morning, so if there's any way I could get an immediate clearance.
Of course, you could go over my head to the controller's office.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't?
Well, I wouldn't want to.
I see. But if you had to, you would. Mawina, put that permission order through for him.
Thank you. Thank you.
One thing. You shouldn't go to the Savage Reservation alone. Take a female along, preferably one with definite anti-deviant morality training.
I've already taken care of that. I've engaged several extra females over the past few weeks, precisely to pick out the proper one. Linda Lysenko, one of the fertilization technicians at the plant. A well-conditioned beta minus and very pneumatic.
Did you pick it all up, Mawina?
Yes, everything's programmed into his computer file.
What's his readout?
+5 assertiveness quotient.
That's quite acceptable with his conditioning level. I think he can continue to be considered for an upper management post, don't you?
Yes. But I can't help finding him just a little...
Pompous.
Yes.
Self-serving.
Yes.
You see, solid managerial potential.
But he's so dull.
With alphas conditioned for upper-level executive duties like Thomas, being dull is an absolute necessity. It vastly increases their ability to think rigidly and inflexibly.
Here I am, Assistant Director. What? About the production quota inspection request from your office.
Oh, yes, of course.
Here, we've been able to speed up the stunning of epsilon semi-morons. An extra half batch a week.
Well, I hope they'll still be able to perform the necessary work.
Of course, speeding up the production of gammas and deltas without performance loss is more difficult. But even sub-deltas can still perform routine jobs, sorting, filing, collecting audiometer results, that sort of thing. Of course, there's nothing to be done about alpha and beta production. One egg, one bag. Unfortunately, it still takes 9 months. Even increased surrogate endocrine transfusion.
Yes. Pardon me, but I really must take care of something. It's an administrative detail.
Oh, Tomikin, it's you. Look what you made me do.
Everything's set for the trip to the Savage Reservation. Unless, of course, you're not interested now.
Oh, I am, Tomikin, I am. When?
We're catching the early rocket tomorrow morning.
Oh, the early rocket?
Yeah, what's wrong?
Well, it's just that I'm engaging one of the Beta Plus decanters tonight. Adolf Rockefeller. You know, the cute one with the curly eyebrows. And we were going to spend the night at his apartment. But we can spend the night at my place. It's much closer to the rocket port. Unless you'd rather engage me tonight. I'm sure I could rearrange my plans.
Oh, no. I've already engaged you twice last week, and you know how people gossip. Suppose they start whispering that I've immorally limited my engagements to just one female. I've got my reputation to think of.
I've never engaged him before, but all the girls in decanting say he's very good. And he's so cute with his curly eyebrows. Have you seen the new Feely? Where this alpha erotic counselor becomes a delta pleasure technician by mistake when she... Well, I'm not exactly sure what happens, but everyone says the applied religious orgy scene is just wonderful. That's where Adolf's taking me. Who are you engaging tonight? I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not engaging anyone. It's just like Thomas says, people gossip. Everyone's starting to whisper about you. They say you've only engaged one man in the last 3 weeks. It's true. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, you have to do something about it.
I have, really. I went to a dispenser, but you know what they're like. Take 2 soma and go to bed. Synthetic therapy sessions with an idealist, VPS treatments, even a pregnancy substitute. But nothing seems to help. I just don't know what's wrong with me.
Uncomputocepted female. Uncomputocepted female.
You forgot to set your computoception dial on your Malthusian belt.
I'm always doing that. Sometimes I wish I'd been incubated as a neutered free martin. Just think, they can engage all they like without having to fuss about computoception.
Here, let me help. You don't want to get, you know, pregnant. Did you do the drill yesterday?
I think so. Oh, I must have, because I engaged one of the assistant fertilization engineers on the compulsive leisure hour. You know, the tall one.
Then just set the dial to the next one. Remember, day plus 1 equals none.
Day plus 1 equals none.
I'm Stelina Shell, Chief Warden for the reservation. I understand you got in yesterday and rested over. Proper acclimatization, that's the thing. I suppose you stayed at the Lux Hotel at the Rocket Fort?
Yes, and it was just as nice as could be.
We're quite proud of it. Liquid air, vibro-vacuum massage, sense of feely vision in every room. But of course you won't find any of that on the reservation, I'm afraid.
Oh, you mean this isn't part of the reservation?
Oh no, this is the official Anthros study station. The reservation itself is some distance. It's quite remote and completely sealed off by an electronic barrier. But you'll be taken directly to our substation by escaporter. From there, I'm afraid you'll have to go on foot. Of course, you'll have a guide. They're delta minuses, but all specially incubated for high eye, ear, nose acuity. Though unfortunately at the expense of some other faculties. Well, first we better see if you're properly outfitted. Ion heater, sensor thermal bag, extra soma and amphetamine rations, condensed syntho food, ultrasonic microbomb pop popper. You know how to fire this, of course. Safety off. Aim. Press firmly on the clip. It's entirely non-lethal. It merely causes temporary paralysis.
The savages. I mean, if they're dangerous, I certainly wouldn't want to expose Miss Lysenko.
Oh, no, it's simply a precaution. Actually, the savages are quite tame. Well then, if you're ready, I'll show you to the escaporter. This way. It's so seldom anyone visits the Savage Reservation. I rarely have the opportunity to show off our treasures.
What is that?
Just some examples of our fauna, but they have all been conditioned to remain within the hunting preserve set aside for the savages.
No, I meant this.
Oh, just one of their cult superstitions meant to frighten off demons. In fact, their religion seems to be based partly on demonology.
What sort of demons?
Almost anything at all. Rocks, trees, animals, sometimes strangers. Like you.
We must have come almost a mile by now.
Yes. One moment. How far is the Savage Reservation? No. Not where is it? How far? There.
pills that they're putting into their mouths. What are they doing that for? Stop it!
They're eating them.
Eating them? But how can they? They're just dirty things from the ground. They're not even wrapped in plastic. Don't they know any better?
Of course they don't. They're not civilized.
Stop it, that's enough. Oh, stop it. Now, why did you do this? Why'd you do that? Why are they acting like that? Hitting, laughing, crying. It's weird.
It must be some sort of aberrational pattern. I hear there once was a thing called madness in primitive times. Yes, that must be what it is. Maybe we better get away from them. It might be catching. Fascinating. I really should do a psychograph readout. Perhaps on the degenerative effect of non-decantation. I think this is just the thing that would look really good on my computer file. Move aside. I want to go through.
No. It is forbidden to approach the crucified God. Make it done.
I just want to snap some computer pics. No. Where's the director? Who's in charge around here?
I am.
He's so old.
Linda! Ford. Artifacts, and I'm told there's a place not far from the village, possibly, just possibly, there's a whole Model T.
Where?
They call it the Demon's Place. Of course, if you'd rather stay behind while I go,
No! Any place would be better than here. What he says. I can't go any further.
Better take an amphetamine.
What is it?
Mescal. A little is good, much is not good.
Oh, how awful.
Well, what are you waiting for? Come on. Move along. Sommerbite.
Yes, Ptarmigan.
Ready?
Just a second. Day plus 1 equals none. No, then 2. No? 1. Coming, Ptarmigan.
Oh, is that all you want? Oh, just try to be a little quieter.
No. The evil one that becomes the spirit of wild animals, Satan.
Nonsense. Whatever it is you're muttering about, just leave us alone.
Hey! Get away! No, the evil one, Satan.
Well, we'll just see about that.
Hop, hop, Ptarmigan!
Linda! No! No! Oh, no.
Linda! Linda?
After that, he seems to have wandered alone for several days before being found by a search heli-rocket sent out by Chief Warden Stelina Shell. Apparently, he initially suffered from deconditional hallucinations, something about demons and sacred relics, according to the Chief Warden.
Yes, spiritual psychosis. Always a danger upon contact with viviparous primitives. I presume he was given the required soma decompression therapy.
Yes, and he was completely cured. And subsequent tests showed that he conformed to the proper socio-psi norms.
Then he can still be computogrammed to rise at least one more level before any disabling incompetency factor has to be seriously considered. The female companion, Linda Lysenko. No trace of her was found.
No trace. But of course there was no practical reason for searching. Her body would have begun to decompose and would have been much too contaminated for phosphorus chemocovering.
After the orgy services, I've got tickets to the new Ophelia run.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'll be ready right after work. Wrong. Wrong. Alcohol added to Alpha Plus bottle. Wrong.
No. It is a sacred wine. Nectar potion. It is only meant to anoint you with.
But I don't have any soma.
Xanthopituitary extract levels, satisfactory. Hyperoxygenation level, satisfactory. Final DNA genetic scansion level.
An Alpha Plus bag of anoid marks. Of course, it should have been caught earlier on the production line. The chief quality engineer seems to think some of the alcohol for substunting epsilon embryos got into this alpha bag by mistake, but of course that's quite impossible with the zero flow procedures I've instituted. Probably some clerical mix-up before the raw material for the unit reached my division. But I can assure you that I intend to institute increased computer control.
Yes, I'm sure. Are there any other production defects?
Oh, no. Just one random mistake of some sort.
A random error. Interesting.
The name again?
Marks. Bernard Marks. Alpha Plus, male. Shall I order the unit aborted?
No. No, proceed with the assembly.
Male, Alpha Plus, marked Bernard G. Inspected and approved.
Case number 8, Raquel Gandhi, Beta Minus, Eradication and Rectification Technician. Consistent failure to share in orgy-porgy devotional services. Recommendation, Re-Education Center of Subject's Choice.
Approved.
Case number 9, Bernard Marks, Alpha Plus, age 6, Central Nurseries Plant.
Bernard Marks. So he's 6 years old now.
Continued socially erratic behavior patterns. Failure to conform to prescribed intellectual achievement norms.
He hasn't been able to keep up intellectually with other alpha children.
Just the opposite. It appears he overabsorbed his rote studies in less than the time frame allotment. A distinct pattern of deviant overintelligence.
I see. And the recommendation in Bernard's case?
Removal to a reconditional nursery for infants and older children.
Denied. But I want to be kept informed of Bernard's progress.
Because gray is the nicest.
How lucky to be a Delta and get to wear blue.
Stupid and not too bright.
So glad to be a Beta. Betas, though? How lucky to be an Alpha. Everyone is happy.
Attention, Central Nurseries Depot. Alpha Ward 1, Electro Stall 9, Marks,
And
Bernard
you
G,
never have to do
rectify.
awful things like Betas or Gammas or Deltas or Epsilons. How lucky to be an Alpha. How lucky to be an Alpha. How lucky to be an Alpha. How lucky to be an Alpha.
Sleep refreshes. Sleep revives. Sleep refreshes. Sleep revives. Sleep is nice. Sleep is good. Sleep is what everyone should.
Alphas are happiest. And never have to do awful things like Betas or Gammas or Deltas.
Mother? No, I told you. Don't ever call me that awful name. I told you and told you, John. Linda. Can't you learn to say that?
Yes, Linda. What are chemicals?
How would I know?
It's your book, Linda.
Well, that doesn't mean I know what chemicals are.
Where do chemicals come from?
Well, from the chemical supply depot, of course. If someone wants chemicals, the chemical workers bring chemicals. Just like anything else.
Like anything?
Yes, anything. Not like this awful place. If you want syntho food, the workers bring syntho food. If you want plastic clothes, the plastic clothes workers bring plastic clothes. Whatever you want.
I wish I could go there, Linda.
Oh, I wish I could, too. Everything's so perfect there. Everything's there you could want. And anything you want, you can have. Anything. And if you're ever blue, wonderful pills that never make you feel bad afterwards, like the mescal here. And the people aren't evil and immoral. In the other place, everyone engages with everyone the way they should. And you can engage all the time with anyone you want.
Like Pele?
Oh, no. I'd never bother engaging with someone like Pele in the other place.
Can't we go there, please?
You don't understand. It's too late. Too late!
Well, Bernard Marks again. Still refusing to participate in religious sex devotional exercises, is he?
No. This time he disrupted the erotic training class by refusing to play Hunt the Zipper.
Well, Bernard. Don't you like to play Hunt the Zipper?
No.
Well, I see. Sit down, Bernard. No, there, in the vibro water chair. comfy. Now, Bernard, do you want to play Hunt the Zipper?
No.
Are you sure? You really do want to play Hunt the Zipper, don't you?
No.
Well, well. Let me ask you again, Bernard. Do you want to be allowed to go back to your erotic training class and play Hunt the Zipper with all the other boys and girls?
Yes.
Fine. Now run along back and play. Quick! Quick! Well, well. He does seem to be a bit of a problem, doesn't he, Miss Arco? I think we'd better schedule him for a few clinical sessions with one of the school's psychosex therapists.
Whatever you say, of course. Personally, I think there's something wrong with him. He's so little for his age, hardly bigger than a gamma. You know, they say some alcohol got into a senile blood surrogate while he was still in the bag.
Yes, yes. I've heard that, too. Still, you must admit he is brilliant.
Oh, and things like computer reading and play math, yes. But he completely failed desensitivity training 1A. Personally, I think he should be put into a remedial conditioning class.
Yes, yes. Or even a moral reformation institute. However, the fact is, Miss Arco, that for whatever reason, Mustafa Mond himself seems to take a special interest in little Bernard. And if the first assistant Western World Controller is interested in him, well, then, of course, we are too. Aren't we, Miss Arco?
Yes, we certainly are.
How all occasions do inform against me, and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good market of his time be but to sleep and feed, a beast no more?
Leave her alone! You know what she is?
Yes, I know. She is my mother.
But who is your father? Say that with truth.
Tomikin! Tomikin! Now leave!
I was just trying to be good and do the right thing. Engaging one is bad. Having two is good. Having three is best. 4, 5, 6 is a perfect mix. 7, 8, 9 whenever there's time. Everyone who's civilized knows that. And now all I can have is Pele because he's drunk and won't work. And no one else wants to.
No, not him.
I know it's immoral to engage only Pele, but what can I do when...
Almost pernicious woman. Oh, lecherous creature that dust and venom lashes with the vial.
Oh, say something nice for Linda. From the old book Mitsima gave you. About the pretty lady sleeping. Tell me that one again. Please. Oh, please.
But now sleep. Sleep and see what visions I have seen. Towers cloud-capped, and men that like angels fly. Thither shall we go, you and I. Sub-perfection engorge our fill with divinity.
All right, sir. Central hatchery, red beam, first level.
Follow the proper beam to the proper escortation.
Bernard Mark. Oh, Helmholtz.
Thorium and phosphorus recovery tank number 17. First level, pink beam.
Central hatch release, please. All right, sir.
Miss Trotsky? Miss Meyer? Miss Rothschild? Didn't I order a computer projection feasibility chart on increased production of Delta Pluses?
Yes, Director.
But it's not there.
No, Director.
Then where exactly is it?
It was supposed to be done by Bernard Marx. He's the new assistant computologist.
Oh, yes, I know the one. A very spotty moral record, to say the least. Brilliant, I suppose, but if only his Fordship Mustafa Mon didn't take such a peculiar interest in him. But if he's fallen down an assignment... Thank you.
Yes, Director. Hello, Bernard. Oh, Henry, am I interrupting something terribly important?
No, Lenina. I'm just doing a current inventory on Epsilon production.
I just wanted to make sure it is tonight I'm engaging you.
Yes. I'm going to pick you up after work. You didn't forget, did you?
Oh, no. I just wanted to make sure. I'll be ready. Bye, Bernard.
Lenina.
Yes, Bernard?
Bye.
Bye.
Mr. Marx? I believe you were told to compute or project the production feasibility rates of increased Delta production.
Yes, Director.
Then where, may I ask, is the report?
Here, sir.
Here. And not on my desk computer screen. Well, then it's late.
Yes, Director. Unfortunately, I had to revise some of the definitional input from your office, but I think you'll find it all here now. End-use allocation percentages, sub-intensive maximization of assembly personnel units, and a recommendation to rectify some of the declining production numbers.
Yes. Well, we shall see. We shall just see.
Come on, Lenina. We're going to be late for the sensu fili.
Just a second. Yes. Tomorrow night, I'm sure I can fit you in.
Going off on vacation with Lenina, huh? Don't worry. You'll enjoy engaging. I always do.
I don't care, and I don't want to hear about it.
You seem upset about something. Maybe you've been working too hard, remember? Work to play and play to work. A little soma, that'll fix you up. Remember, soma a day...
I don't need any soma, and I don't want any soma.
How about Infiniped?
No.
Maybe a violence passion surrogate treatment. Sometimes that does wonders.
You're right.
Just step into the psycho porter, sir. Let's make sure you're all comfy and secure in there.
We have electrode contact.
Yes, all in order. Now, what would your preference be? An Inquisition torture chamber? A pirate raid? Perhaps you'd like to try one of our new gangster rub-out treatments. Something of a novelty, but we've had excellent results with them so far.
What's your strongest treatment?
The Gladiator Circus, number 4. But I wouldn't recommend that for you, sir. It can be quite demanding physically. Besides, only betas and alphas are allowed to...
I am an alpha. Can't you see what I'm wearing?
Yes. I just thought there'd been some slight confusion.
I don't think so. Number 4, thank you.
Yes, sir. Whatever you wish. Why did you stop the treatment, sir? Were you displeased? Would you like to try a different one?
No, thank you. I'm just, there's some things that I have to think about. Consider.
Think. Consider how awful it must be to be an alpha.
And how lucky we are to be gamma. After all,
To be good is gamma, because gamma is good.
How did you manage that?
Oh, maybe something like that is what I need. You know how distracting everything can be. Too many awards, too many girls, too much of everything. Oh, yes. Sometimes I wish I were young again and just starting out like you. Helmholtz, you're successful, you're talented. Yes, it's true. Everyone says I've written some of the finest contemporary jingles. Still, lately I've had this strange, troubling feeling that there must be something more I can write about, something different. Really? Like what? Well, like the senso emotions and the sensophilies and VPS cubicles. Just suppose that people could really feel those things. Love, hate, passion, jealousy. Now, look here, Helmholtz. Suppose somebody should hear you talking like that. The both of us could be sent to reconditioning centers. Or even to one of those free islands like Iceland or Madagascar. And you know what that means. No soma, no amphetamine. No, thank you. You're right, of course. We shouldn't let ourselves talk like this. I shouldn't even let myself think about such things. I wish my problems were simple like yours. Simple? Of course. If you want this, Lenina, just tell her. What could be any simpler?
Don't be alarmed, sir. It's just the Solidarity Patrol. Are you all right, sir? Can we help you in some way?
I'm perfectly all right.
But you're alone, aren't you? There must be something wrong if you're alone.
No. I'm not alone. I'm coming to see someone there in that compartment. Female beta.
Oh, that's different. Go right on, sir.
Isn't that a coincidence? Just a minute ago I was talking about you while Henry Exxon was engaging me. Don't just stand out there. Come in.
I'm not here.
Isn't it awfully late for us to engage each other anywhere else?
That isn't what I mean. I want you to come with me.
Now?
Now.
There's no one here. It's empty.
I know it. That's why I come here.
By yourself? But Bernard, it's unnatural.
I know it.
Sometimes I just don't understand you at all, Bernard.
Sometimes I don't understand myself either.
I don't like it here, Bernard. It's so silent and empty. Bernard, there isn't even any music. Why ever did you bring me here? Why don't we go somewhere so we won't be so alone?
I want to be alone with you so that we can talk.
Talk? But Bernard, whatever would we talk about? Especially alone. No one really wants to be alone.
I do. I want to be alone. And I don't really know why, except sometimes it makes me feel more special, different. Like I feel about you now. I don't want anyone else. I want you. Just you.
Well, we should not have left my place. I guess we could go to yours.
You don't understand. I want you. Just you. Or no one.
But
Bernard, everyone has everyone, so no one has no one.
Yes, I know. Everyone has everything, so no one wants anything.
That's right. You feel better now, don't you, Bernard?
A little.
What shall we call you?
My name is John.
But your last name, I mean. Why not Savage? Mr. John Savage, how does that strike you for a name?
It boots not. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
A rose? Oh, yes, of course.
You do not have roses here, do you?
Oh, I'm sure we do. In one of our nature nausea classes or museums.
But don't people wish to see flowers growing?
They did once. But we found that flowers are counterproductive. The time that could have been spent producing or consuming was wasted idly looking at flowers.
I'm afraid I do not understand.
Well, of course you don't. Yet. But you will. That is, if you stay with us.
You're not going to send me back?
No. No. Well, only if you wish. You see, Mr. Savage, here in our world, you may do anything you wish, be anything you wish, have anything you wish. Yes, and have anyone you wish.
Linda? Linda?
No, Mr. Savage, you mustn't disturb her. She's having her joy hour.
How do I know she's all right?
You can see for yourself. Just look at her.
If she is happy, then beasts that reason not and lack all discourse are happy. Linda? Linda?
Go away.
It's John, your son.
Go away. Soma! Soma! Soma!
Now see what you've done? You've completely thrown her off her soma schedule.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
That is all, Nanny Nurse. I'm Phillips Park Ludens, the chief dispenser. What is it, Mr. Savage?
Linda, I want to have her with me.
Quite out of the question.
But she belongs with me. She's my mother.
I will not tolerate that sort of dirty language in my dispensary, Mr. Savage. And if you plan to say any more filthy things like that, I'll simply have to ask you to leave immediately. This way, please.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. But I do want to have her with me.
I don't think you understand, Mr. Savage. Here we have her on a strict soma schedule. 2 happiness hours and 1 full joy hour a day. Without proper dispensary supervision, she would immediately soma coma.
And if she didn't get any soma?
Then she would, of course, scream incessantly. Is that what you want?
Oh, no. But this soma, aren't you actually shortening her life by giving her so much?
In one sense, yes. But in another, we're actually lengthening it. A megasoma coma is a bit of what the ancients used to call eternity.
Eternity? Eternity was in our lips and eyes. You mean that?
Not exactly. In any case, Mr. Savage, you can be sure we'll do everything possible for her here. Although, of course, nothing can save her.
You don't mean she's dying now?
No, not now. But of course, sooner or later, the megasoma doses will lead to paralysis of the respiratory sector. Her breathing will then cease, and she will die of terminal bliss.
I want to be with her. How soon will it happen?
It's difficult to say, especially in her case. The first sign is usually a brief reality relapse. Of course, you wouldn't want to see her then.
But I would.
Very well, Mr. Savage. I'll see that you're contacted.
To His Fordship, Mustafa Mond, Western World Controller, from Bernard Marx. Subject, John Savage. I first took the Savage to the great cathedral of our Ford. He was obviously inspired by the deep synthetic reverence of the worshippers, and I believe I was able to explain to him the rudiments of surrogate spirituality and placebid belief. John's tour of a senior kindergarten conditioning school was, under my close guidance, a complete success. Naturally, I couldn't explain all the educational intricacies such as advanced play math to him, but I believe that with my further help, he may well be able to grasp some of the simpler things such as nature, nausea, reinforcement conditioning.
Bernard, why?
While the Savage was obviously charmed by the primary erotic play class, it did seem to raise a question in his mind. He asked again where without mothers, where the children came from.
Now, Mr. Savage, I think you'll find this very interesting. After the embryos are bagged, they come along here for initial model selection. At the moment, we're turning out redesigned deltas.
Oh, Juliet, move not, and on thy sweet lips would my soul be purged.
Mr. Savage, come along. I want to show you our all-new and fully improved Buchanowski embryomatic separator. 1 epsilon unit goes in, and out comes 60 reproductions, absolutely identical to the original in every production detail. Come along.
Did you sprinkle on additives or mix them in? I'm sorry, please, no more questions. We must keep on schedule.
Are you engaging anyone tonight?
Perhaps. I'll give you a telecall. Thank you. John, hurry. We'll be late for the Ford State Synthesis service.
What are they doing?
These are the Delta workers receiving the daily ration of Soma.
Like Linda?
Yes, not as much, but the same thing.
Why?
Why?
You said they were happy.
Well, of course they're happy. Everyone's happy.
Then why do they take the Soma?
Because it's prescribed. 3 after work and 6 on the Ford State.
Why, Bernard?
John, really, you must stop using that word.
Hold it! Over here, Mr. Savage. That's enough. We have to go on with our tour for Mr. Savage. No more pictures.
But we need a statement from him for the Daily Times. Say one of your funny things, Mr. Savage.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and nobles to behold the swelling scene.
It's wonderful. That's just perfect. Should I go on? Say something more, anything at all.
That's all. I'm sorry, we must go on with our tour. Now, you can all interview Mr. Savage later on. Right this way, Mr. Savage. I hope that none of that upset him. I mean, I do hope that you won't put anything unfavorable about our operation here in your report.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You can count on me to leave out any minor matters as long as we understand each other.
Oh, we do. We do, Mr. Marks, I assure you. Careful, Mr. Savage, not too close. What is this? Those are heliofusion tubes. You see, we take helium energy from the sun. The sun, up there, hot, hot. Then we pipe it thousands and thousands of feet down there, underground, where it's turned into nuclear fusion energy. Bubble, bubble, fizz, fizz. Then back up comes fusion energy through those tubes. It's really quite simple. Approach, thou beacon to this underglobe. And thou, all shaking thunder, strike flat the thick rotundity of the world. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. You will put that in your report, won't you? I mean that I explained everything to him.
What's wrong with them?
Oh, that's a batch of our especially substunted epsilon workers. As you can see, Mr. Savage, they were designed specifically for heliofusion work. The heat immersion pigment, or growth-inhibiting hormones. You will note that their bodies were designed to fit perfectly into the coils of the tubes.
Bernard, may we go?
Oh, but we haven't seen the Delta Radiothrax workers yet. We haven't seen...
I must go. I feel a sickness of spirit. I'm sorry.
Oh, perhaps we'd better go.
But you won't put any of this in your report, will you?
We have to leave.
You're behind schedule. Take your elevator down for another batch.
No, you did extremely well the other day at electro-obstacle golf. I mean, for never having played the game before.
But it's not a game, Bernard. Everyone just sits at that machine and presses buttons, but no one runs or jumps or throws like in a game.
Well, it used to be like that once, I think, with a round object that people used to hit this way and that with sticks. Naturally, not that many people could play at the same time. But as soon as they replaced these sticks and round things with machines, then of course more people could spend more time consuming more energy.
If no one plays, though, Bernard, why do you call it a game?
Because that's what it's called. Central Slumbratorium 2, priority.
Very good, sir. First level, pink beam.
What is this, Bernard?
This is the Slumbratorium Garden of the Departed Ones, and there's no need to whisper. Beautiful, aren't they?
Are they truly dead?
Oh, yes. Naturally, the departed ones aren't shipped here for formal cosmetic reconstitution until they've passed on. But I can assure you this is exactly the way each one looked in their real life.
What killed them?
Oh, nothing at all. By taking the correct chemicals, we all stay young till perhaps 80, 90. That's when the metabolic strain causes PPO. That's peaceful passing on. Where is a writer from Creative Cremation? It's all right. You pushed the disposal button.
Where did he go?
Down to the chemo recovery furnace. The bodies are brought here for cosmetic reconstitution before cremation and final chemo recovery. That way the chemicals that are salvaged from the body are returned to usefulness.
Let's go.
And the individual goes on being part of the greater society forever.
Good. Do you want to play the plop-plop game?
Yeah!
Well, have you all finished your yum-yum soma candy?
Yeah!
Since you've all been very, very good on our whole death training picnic, I guess it's time for your reward. Each one gets one plop-plop.
Yay!
But just one. Go on. All right, children, all together.
Death is perfect, death is fun, death is good for everyone.
Good, very good. Let's do it again and show Mr. Savage here how we sing our We're Not Afraid of Dying song.
When there's no one left, sing a song of death. 420 corpses baking in the stew, making pretty chemicals just for me and you. Death is perfect.
No, you don't understand. Death is dark as night.
In that country from whose bourne no traveler returns. And none need court death, for death will come to each. So let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings. Let us talk of graves.
Really, Mr. Savage,
of
you have completely ruined my death training class. Now I'll have to start all over again with them. Come on, children. We'll go back to the Dying Inn Hospital and have a fun picnic. Come along. Come on. If you ask me, I think you'd better start educating your Savage, Mr. Marks. Come on.
I'm sorry, Bernard. I seem to have done something wrong.
John, this incident is strictly between you and me.
And the Savage then completely disrupted an advanced synthophilosophy course by asking strange questions of the students.
What sort of questions exactly?
Well, here, for instance, she asked them to explain to him why life was a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury signifying nothing. Some sort of primitive gibberish, obviously.
Ah, yes. Macbeth. Yes, obviously, gibberish. How about females? How many has he engaged with so far?
None. I know it's incredible. But at least according to this report from Bernard Marx, that does seem to be the case. And despite several illustrated lectures on morality, he still seems to be attached to his...
His mother?
Yes, his mother. Decidedly unnatural.
For us, of course, but not for John Savage. Not yet.
Well, suppose he contaminates others with this sort of base animalistic attitude. Unnatural is unnatural.
Perhaps. But then that is precisely what the experiment is all about. To determine whether or not the savage can adjust to our higher plane of morality. Of course, if that proves to be impossible, the experiment will have to be terminated. Is it finished?
Yes, all records of the experiment have been computer shredded and completely electro-erased.
Of course, he posed great problems. People wondering how he could do without Soma. Why he lived alone. How, why? But still I wonder. Was there another way, Mawina?
For the savage? What?
I don't know.
Well, you tried to civilize him. To teach him.
Yes, like Caliban. The plague take you Prospero for teaching me.
Caliban?
A different savage than a magician, an ancient kind of controller named Prospero tried to civilize. Just a story.
I don't understand.
No, but John did.
Will there be anything more, your Lordship?
No, nothing more at all. The cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.